welcome back to Apple Tree Allotment. Down here in a nice sunny afternoon. I've got a huge amount of jobs to do today. I'm sort of in a bit of a lull between getting everything built and some of the early things planted out, and then actually getting the rest of the sweet corn, pumpkin, squash, that kind of stuff out. But I've got a few little bits I'm going to do today. I was just having a little look around when I got here, and there was one of the beds had come unscrewed a little bit. I don't know, the wood seems to have warped quite a bit, so I've put some big nails in it, and hopefully that'll hold it for now. Might have to do a bit more of a repair to that another day, I think. But what I've just got a box of nails and my hammer down here, so just sorted it out with that for now. Might have to find some better wood if that bit's warped and not so good. But other than that, yes, I brought some squash plants down, some brown squash and some Lebanese squash. So 3 squash plants to plant out. And I brought some pumpkin seeds down. I'll show you them in a minute. Rest of the plot's looking really good. Everything's really starting to come up now. I was just having a look back at my pictures I'd taken when I'd planted the potatoes out to try and work out when we'll be harvesting some. And I think I planted these first 2 boxes of first earlies around the 10th of April. So I'm trying to work out, I think about the end of June we'll have our first potatoes. So yeah, the end of June will be the first sort of big harvest. So that's great. They've really come on this week, really shooting up. I thought it was going to be quite warm this week, but it's actually been quite cold. We've had quite a lot of rain, especially overnight. We've had quite a bit of rain. I guess the potatoes have been enjoying the rain. Certainly needed it. The soil was quite dry last week. And then the other potatoes, or the second earlies and main crops, we planted, I think it was the 17th of April, so a week later. Yeah, they should be a little bit behind, but they're looking good too. I think everything I've planted has come up. So yes, I'm really happy with those. Back here, I think you can sort of tell where the back of this plot is a bit darker. We've got these really big trees, big conifer trees that cast a bit of a shadow. So they are a little bit slower growing at the back. That's probably not the worst thing, because it means they'll sort of stagger a little bit. But yeah, they're all growing away nicely. The chard is still doing really well. The leeks are starting to grow a bit, and we've got our the ones I planted 2 weeks ago started to come up now. So we've got some nice leek seedlings in. I did 3 rows, so hopefully I'll get some good leeks this year. They'll obviously be in here till end of the year or start of next year. And our carrots as well. So yeah, the carrots, all the lines of the carrots are up now actually. First ones are getting a good size, but I can see the row at the back there coming up. So I think this is one of the beds I'm going to need to have a little clean up this week. I'll just pull out a few of these little tiny weeds. And I'm finding quite a lot of potatoes that have sprouted in these beds from last year. So I'm trying to keep on top of pulling them out, because they'll obviously disrupt everything. The peas looking good. Not tons of growth, but still climbing away. I might try and attach some of these that aren't winding round yet. Just give them a bit of a help getting up there. They look good. This fence is obviously working, keeping the rabbits and everything out. Over on plot 1, everything's still, fruit's still looking good, growing away. The garlic. No sign of the beans as yet, but I would think it'll be another fortnight or so before they sort of come up. The courgettes, the green courgettes we planted last week, are looking good, look happy, so they don't look like anything's attacked them. So I'm pleased about that. They've survived the night, so everything okay. The 2 I planted at home are looking good as well. So hopefully we weren't too early, and now keep going okay. The sunflowers are doing well. More coming up now, slowly coming up. I'll give it another week or so, and if there's not as many as I'd like to come up, I'll put some more in. But it does look like there's a fair few coming up there. These are the bits I brought down. So I've got they're quite small plants. They're not amazing. In fact, there's 2 in there. I didn't realise that. But I'm going to get them out. I've got some more I sowed yesterday to get going, so they'll be ready in 2 or 3 weeks. So if these don't sort of amount to much, I can always replace them with them. I brought down some labels as well, just some plant sticks to label those. And I brought down these blue pumpkin seeds. So I actually saved these from, we went to a farm and picked some pumpkins last year, and I saved the seeds out of some of the blue ones that we liked. I've got some of these growing at home in pots. I've only had a couple come up. I don't know if it's because of it's safe seed or because, I don't know, it's been quite cold. But what I thought is I'll bring them down and just plant a few in the Three Sisters bed at the back. I might do a couple down here this end. Just see if they come up, and if they don't, then I'll put plants in anyway. But it'd be nice to get things growing in that bed. So today I'm just gonna have a walk around and tidy up. Is the main thing I want to do. There's a few little bits of weed coming up some of these beds, and keep on top of those little bits that are coming up. And I'm going to plant out these 3 squash plants. I'm going to do it in this bed here. So that smaller one I had 2 courgette plants in, and then this next bed I'm going to put 3 in there, and likewise in another week or 2 I'll put another 3 squash plants of some sort in there. Probably the other types of squash I've got growing at home, I can't remember what they're called now, the patty pans. So I've got some yellow and green patty pan squash plants. So yeah, I'll plant 3 of those in there, probably even next week or the week after. Still loads of time to get those out. As I said, I've sown some more at home anyway, so if these don't do too well, I can always do that. That's today's jobs. Everything's looking really nice in the sunshine. Nice to be down here. I might also, if I get time, mow again. I did at the end of last week. Got the mower out, and I did all this. And managed to find a mower with a back on it now, so I can use the clippings up here to put around my potatoes. So that's really helpful. I'm going to try and mow every week so I can get those. And it keeps the plot tidy as well with the grass that goes around it. Yeah, so first up I might actually go and have a look, see if the mower's there today and got fuel in it, and just run around the edge of the allotment so I can use the clip-ins, and then I'll get that squash planted, I think. I did a bit of mowing. The grass wasn't that long, so we didn't get that much, but managed to get this bed covered up. As they grow, they're probably the bigger ones, and a bit on the end here, a few that had less on. I'll keep doing it each time I come down and cover these beds up. and at home as well. I really want to get some in our compost. I brought down the other day 3 bags of manure, horse manure, that the local stables had. So I put them in our compost bin ready for next spring. But I want to add some green to it as well. It'll have our sort of potato tops and everything like that in it later in the year, but I want to get some grass and things in it as well. So that's done. I'll keep doing that as I can. Next little job, I think I'll put these squash in and label those, and then at least they've got a few weeks head start in case I need to replace them. I've got those 2, so I've got 2 round squash, and I've got the Lebanese squash in there, which I think is, the round ones are sort of a ball shape, and the Lebanese one is, I think, sort of courgette shaped but bigger, bit of a, it's got a harder skin, but it's more like a sort of marrow size, I think. We'll see, bit of an experiment this year. I bought a multi-pack of different summer squash to try some different varieties, see what we like, see what stores well, and what's other things we can grow other than courgette. So I've got them 3 in. I'll give them a good water before I leave, and then that just leaves me with this the bed behind it. So I'll get those patty pans in there either next week or the week after. I have got a row of lettuce and spring onion in there at the moment, so I was hoping they would sort of come up and we could take them out before the patty pan get too big. Either that or just sort of the end row will be okay, I would imagine, anyway. But we'll see what see how big they grow. I've never grown them before, so we'll see how big those squash plants get. So the last thing I'm going to sow today in this 3 Sisters bed at the back, I'm probably going to do 4 blue pumpkin seeds. I might put 2 in each sort of hole, see if they come up. I can always thin them out later. So I'm just going to do sort of 4 at this end, and I'm going to label them just so I remember what they are. Yeah, and we'll see if they come up. If they don't, I can replace them with the plants I've got at home anyway. But I'm quite enjoying sowing things straight in the ground this year. We don't have a huge amount of window space that's sort of nice and sunny at home, so the plants, they're sort of a struggle for space, especially with all the sweet corn. I've got about 40 sweet corn, I think, plants that will be ready to go out in a week or so. I noticed the plot next to me has got his out now, so he normally does pretty well with his. So probably about the right time, another week or 2, we'll get them out. Certainly the bigger ones anyway. Can always put some more out later. That's the 4 pumpkins sown. So I've in fact put 2 seeds, one either side of these little labels, and then I can pull out the weaker one if they grow okay. So I'll just put the 4 there. They're a metre spaced, a metre away from each other, so it should give them enough room, and they can go over that way. If my butternut squash grow, I'll put some up that end and they can mingle in the middle somewhere. That's sort of the rough plan. And in between those, I'm going to have, I think, probably 4 deep of my sweet corn. So I'll have 4 rows of probably about 10 in each row, and they'll go all the way from that board up here somewhere. Yeah, so hopefully that'll start taking shape soon. Be good to get those in the ground. So all I've got left to do, I'm not going to water too much because, as I say, it rained quite a lot the last couple of nights, but I'm going to water the squash, water those pumpkin seeds, and I'll just have a look around, see if anything looks like it needs it. The garlic looks okay. Just have a little look under the soil, see how it feels. But yeah, other than that, it's really nice to be down here in the sunshine. Just going to have a little potter about, do that bit of watering, and then a little bit of weeding. There's really not much. There's hardly any over this side, these raised beds. There's more over this side on plot 1, mainly because I think this is the first year we've had it. So we took it over in September, October, I think, last year, and it was really bad. They'd really let it go, so there was a lot of weeds on here. So I'm probably going to be fighting them for a while, I'd imagine. Hopefully, as we layer up this good compost, homemade compost, over the years and weed it out, hopefully we'll win that battle. Won't be too bad. The other side's certainly done really well over the last couple of years. So yeah, I'm hoping that's going to work out okay. There's a few potato plants coming up in the other beds, but other than that, I think we're okay. So I hope you're all getting out in your gardens and plots and enjoying the start of summer, end of spring, and keeping well. I look forward to catching up with you next week.